Right. Hello. Hi, guys. How you doing? I'm Allison Johnson, and I'm on the product marketing team for Service Cloud here at Salesforce, and it feels really good to be back in DC. I actually grew up not too far from here, outside of Quantico, in a military household. And this trip brought back a lot of memories. Every year when I was a kid, we would come into town for the Cherry Blossom Festival. And coming from a military family, let me tell you, my family was very efficient. When we came into town for the festival, we had a plan, we had a rendezvous point, and we would synchronize our watches before we left. And I know that my parents, who are probably watching this today, wish that they had the technology that we have today. It would have been great if we could text, if we could drop a pin, if we could share our location. And the same can be said for businesses today. You guys want to get closer to the people you care about, your customers. And that's what we're going to spend some time talking about today. All right, you've probably seen this lovely slide before, and it's just important to keep in mind that Salesforce is a publicly traded company, so please make all of your purchasing decisions based off what's currently available in the marketplace. I spend a lot of my time with customers just like you guys, and it is such a privilege. I love hearing the challenges that you're facing, the products that you're using, the vision that you have for service. We have a couple customers actually here in the room today. We have our friends from AARP. We have Divya from MicroStrategy. Just want to thank all of you guys for being here. Thank you for being our customers, and thank you for sharing your stories. It really is kind of the best part of my job. Now, we live in the fourth industrial revolution. You may have heard this earlier in our opening keynote. And the fourth industrial revolution, we're really blurring those lines between the digital and physical space. And when I sit with our customers, we're talking about this. We're talking about, not just social media and that impact on service, but what about intelligence? What about robotics? Robotics, AI, IoT, they're changing the way that we work, live, play, and communicate. And we're seeing this in our daily lives. We're seeing this in self-driving cars, drones, robo-banking, your Nest thermostat. It's totally transforming the way we do business, and it's really making a huge impact on the service world. And it's not just the technology that's changing it, but really how we're going to be able to bridge the gap with the fourth industrial revolution are through people just like you, our trailblazers. Trailblazers are sharing their story and they're embracing the new technology. They are challenging the status quo. They're learning about these new features and they're really rethinking service. So it's a privilege to be able to talk to you guys about this and be able to brainstorm and talk about how we're being trailblazers. Now, when it comes to transforming your service organization, it's challenging. And again, you guys have told us, it is not easy. So when we talk to Trailblazers, we've come up with really 3 ways to transform service. It starts with empowering every customer and employee and agent. Then it's about really engaging with your customers across every channel. And then ultimately, it's about elevating your service, elevating the role of service, and really extending it out to your customers, giving them that seamless experience. Now, it all begins with Service Cloud, the world's #1 service platform. And when we meet with our customers, we're from many different industries. It could be healthcare, life sciences, public sector, and you all have different customers and different use cases. But one thing that you all have in common is that you're putting your customers in the center. And when you do that, you have amazing results. In fact, you've shared that on average, you have a 32% increase in your customer satisfaction. So let's peel back some of the new features and new layers of Service Cloud and talk about how to empower your customers and your employees. So we have customer service, essentials, self-service, and Einstein bots. And we're going to dig into this. Now, it starts with the console. I went to a customer care center in Montreal, and I was amazed by these call center agents because, first of all, they were speaking English and French. They were answering calls. They were taking in tweets, messages, emails, and there was just a lot going on. And this is pretty common for agents today. There's a lot going on. And with the console, what's beautiful about this is that you can personalize it and really build an experience to empower your agent. Now, I started off with this because I want you to also keep in mind that today we'll talk about some of these awesome new features, and keep in mind that this console is customizable. So you can actually drag and drop and use some of the latest new features right away and give these right to your agent. Another thing to keep in mind is that you guys are here for the new stuff. You want to understand, like, what did we just launch? How can you use it? How does it apply to your business? You may have heard that we recently launched Service Cloud Essentials. What's important about this is we want to make sure that all businesses, no matter the size, are able to jump on Service Cloud and empower their employees and their customers. So starting today, you can get started with your Service Cloud journey as soon as possible. And if you can go to our website, there's even a free trial for you guys to check it out. So whether you are a small business or you're a big company, you have agents, and busy agents. And one thing that we have with Lightning Flow is we want to make their job easier. And it's not that simple. A lot of our agents have highly regulated industries. There's a lot of process. And what we found is that sometimes, whether it's your first day or your third year on the job, it can be complicated. Lightning Flow actually makes it so that employee on day one can be successful. We take really complicated cases and give you that guided step-by-step flow so your agent is able to connect with the customer, follow all of the rules, stay compliant, and be able to close the case or pass it off as soon as possible. And you'll also notice, here's like the console view for your agent, but here is actually what the Lightning Flow looks like in your Lightning customer portal. So we're also pushing this out, not just to your agents, but also to your customers. So let's see what the community looks like. With Lightning Customer Community, we're thinking about your customer. 81% of you guys would rather have self-service. You would rather find the answer on your own. You don't have to call in all the time. And with Lightning Customer Community, your business can quickly stand up an instance connected to your customer, and you can drag and drop and build this community so they can figure out how to close a case on their own, how to maybe put a pause on their credit card, and access all of the information right away. Now, we've talked about agents, we've talked about empowering your customers, but intelligence is really important. After all, we're in the 4th industrial revolution. And with Service Cloud Einstein, that's how we're delivering intelligence. Your customers want to get answers on their own in their community. And 81% of you guys, that's a lot. And with Einstein Answers, what we do is we actually service up the right answer to them through intelligence so they can find that answer, they can close the case, they can continue on with their busy lives. And then for your agents, they're getting cases left, right, center. They're really busy. And with Einstein Agent, it acts like their own personal assistant. It actually takes all of the cases and all of the logic behind of how important is this, what are your warranties, what are your service level agreements, and it helps prioritize their workflow so they're able to be as efficient as possible. But that's not enough. We want more. We want to make sure that your customers and employees are empowered and connected together. And that's where Einstein Bots comes in. Einstein Bots is adorable. And it's also this connective tissue that helps your answers. It's serving up the right answers to your customers. So when they're in their community, they're able to find that answer right away. And then it's also connecting to the agent. And it's sending that information. So it's not a disjointed experience. The bot is helping your customer, and then it's servicing it right through the agent so it can help prioritize, and they can start right where the customer left off. So enough talking about it. I'm actually going to bring my colleague Joseph Chong up here, and he's going to show you guys exactly what this looks like.
Thank you, Allison. Thank you, Allison. I love traveling from San Francisco to meet with customers like all of you here in this beautiful city of DC. Now, my wife, Linda, and I, we both work full-time. We've got 2 young kids. So life can get really hectic in this modern family that we have. And we don't always have time to cook dinner. So that's why I love taking out my phone, going to my favorite delivery app. I can place an order, and then 30 minutes later, got that hot pepperoni pizza arriving at my doorstep. It's my son Nolan's favorite. It's a game changer for us. And I'm guessing that most, if not all of you, have had similar experiences, maybe here with the apps that serve the DC area like Postmates or DoorDash, E24, or maybe it's Caviar. They may have delivered value for your family just like they have for mine. And any of these apps can embed service right inside their mobile app and every order experience. And they can do that with Service Cloud. And because they place service right in the center of their business, they can even listen on social media for whether their customers might be venting at them via tweets. And then they can proactively resolve those issues before they become problems with customer service cases. And it's Service Cloud that gives them the capability to do that. And they envision a world in which AI is helping them route their deliveries intelligently, all around the cities of the world, like our nation's capital, but even more, to truly create a seamless and integrated experience across all of their customer touchpoints. So in a moment, we'll take a look at what that vision might look like. Now, Leah has just ordered a small lunch for her team from her favorite sushi restaurant, and she's going to share it with a few of her colleagues. But about an hour before lunch, she gets an email from her boss, Mark, and he says, I'm going to add a couple of internal teams to this lunch and a group of customers, 20 people in total. And we've all been in that situation before. We place that order for takeout or delivery, and we got to change the order. But Leah can't just pick up the phone and place a phone call because she's in a meeting. But luckily for her, she's got other options. And we're going to take a look here at Leah's phone. She can pull up the order. It's got the order details right on there. It's already being prepared. And then she can get into support, and on the center of the screen there, she's got all of her support options available to her. And on the bottom of the screen, different ways of contacting support. She can tap on the Payments tab and click on an article that gives her 3 simple steps to update her payment information, and she can quickly do that and put the order on her boss's corporate card, and bingo, she's got a free lunch. Now, she can also tap on that chat button, and wait for this. What happens is she's instantly connected with an Einstein bot. Now, at Dreamforce last year, I had a chance to staff the Einstein bot activation, and I saw firsthand all the customers who were interested in this. They were telling me their use cases, how they wanted to use bots in their business. And all the content sessions on bots were literally overflowing. And internally, we were so excited that we created a hashtag for this, hashtag #HotForBots. And she's got the ability to kind of type in her query here just naturally. And Einstein is smart enough to not only use natural language processing and intent APIs to understand the content of what she's asking, but also understands the sentiment and then provides her with the order information that she asks for. Now, for companies like these, providing an efficient, seamless experience across the customer lifecycle and supply chain is really critical, especially when the case gets handed off to an agent. And we've all been in that situation before when one agent hands off a case to another, when we've got to repeat ourselves. It's so frustrating. Name, social security number, mother's maiden name. That's my favorite. And that's the exact opposite of what's happening here. Leah's able to press on an option for adding 5 or more servings to her order. And then that's where the transition happens from the bot to the agent, Andrew, who's checking out the Lightning console. And what's nice about this is all the context is there. So he's got her profile information. He's got her order information and the previous chat that happened with the chatbot. It's all front and center, so he can be productive right away with all that context. Nothing's lost. Now, on the left-hand side of the screen, you've got Community 360. And it even shows all the articles that Leah had read, just like that payment article that we were just looking at together. He's got that context. And then on the right-hand side of the screen, he's got all of Leah's interactions with social media and their brand. So he can understand her tweets, even the sentiment that's in them, whether she's frustrated or maybe just inquisitive. And he uses that sentiment information to really personalize that conversation with Leah because he understands how she's feeling. And he even has a knowledge article that he can use and bring to bear just so that interaction across him and the rest of the team is super consistent. Now, in the center of the screen is where you can take action. Initiate the update. Update the order. You can add some California rolls, some edamame, maybe some spicy tuna. It's on Mark's card, why not? And he can also interact with the delivery person at the restaurant to keep them updated. Then can switch over to Leah, let her know about the update, give her a revised ETA, and she is all set. This is how trailblazing companies can provide engaging customer experiences at scale, all on the Service Cloud platform. Thank you, and back to you, Allison.
Thanks, Joseph. Man, that sushi making me hungry. All right, so let's talk about that second path of transforming your service organization. Now, we know just in that demo we saw that you don't have time to jump on the phone all the time. Customers are engaging on so many new channels, and as you transform your service organization, it's important that you also are there for them. So we're gonna dig into how digital engagement and service analytics can help because, surprisingly, 42% of all service interactions are already taking place on digital. Now, I actually used this in my real life yesterday when it was a little rainy and we had to get a quick lunch with a customer. But basically, at Salesforce, we've launched this digital engagement pack so we can give you all the channels you need to be able to talk to your customers. We had a customer lunch yesterday, and we didn't have a reservation. And we went on our phones, and we didn't have open table, and there's nothing available. And we actually pulled up, and Marriott was nearby in Georgetown. And we were able, on our mobile device, to pull up. We could see there was a little message button. We were already in a meeting with someone else under the table. I'm texting. And we were able to get a reservation, and we were even able to update it about 20 minutes later with 2 more headcount, all on our mobile device. And that's the power of being connected with your customers on every channel. You can see that you have your mobile device, you have your apps, you have Snap-ins, you have all these amazing places where your customers are. And when you're talking to them, you're creating billions of data points. And you want to get closer to your customers. This information is really important, but it's a lot of data. That's why we have service analytics, because service analytics can take all of that information and make it digestible for you so you can get closer to your customer. You can use Einstein discovery, so you can really discover deep insights about your customer. You can understand problems before they even can arise. You can see trends. You can get to know them better to really create that amazing customer service experience. So next, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Purvi Desai. She's going to run you guys through an awesome customer interview. Come on up, Purvi.
Thanks, Allison. We love hearing about the success of our customers. And MicroStrategy, who's headquartered right here in DC, recently went through a great service transformation. So I am thrilled to bring up Divya Singh from MicroStrategy to tell us their story. Divya, come on up. Hi, Divya.
Hey, Purvi, how are you?
Thank you so much for being here today.
It's exciting to be here.
So those of you who are not familiar, or for those who are not familiar, can you tell us a little bit more about MicroStrategy, your role there?
Okay, so MicroStrategy is an enterprise platform that allows businesses to empower themselves to be the ultimate data-driven organization. We've got more than 4,000 customers across the globe who use us for everything from data discovery to predictive analytics to building transaction-based mobile apps. I, myself, am VP for technical support. I head the technical support department, and I've been at MicroStrategy for 18 years next week, so kind of an industry veteran there by some standards.
That's awesome. Great. So Allison mentioned that we're in the midst of the 4th industrial revolution, and intelligence is at the core of that, and intelligence is at the core of your business. So given that customers are more connected than ever before, how did that affect your service organization?
Well, intelligence everywhere, right? So at your fingertips with the proliferation of mobile devices, you now have all of that intelligence on every single app. So this has driven our business significantly. I've seen more growth in the last couple of years in our industry than I have in 16 years before that. This has led us to have a lot of technical support cases. We process about 4,000 cases a month, and these are all really complex engineering problems to solve. We had a homegrown solution earlier that we were using to handle support tickets, but it kind of siloed us in a way. Like we had no interaction with technology, no interaction with the sales departments. And so that kind of leads to no one really being accountable to solve the problem. And this led to like a huge increase in our backlogs, a huge increase in a dip in our customer satisfaction. Nothing was going right for us.
No. But you were able to bridge those gaps in business process with Service Cloud. Can you tell us about the benefits you saw?
Well, the benefits were tremendous, actually. So about 2 years ago is when we decided to, we needed a solution for the problem that we had, and we got Salesforce and Service Cloud. Immediately, we were able to bridge those gaps. Technology uses Rally for their agile development. With the Salesforce APIs, we were able to connect to Rally. So now any update that happens in technology immediately gets pumped down to Service Cloud. We're able to ask questions, get answers. The customer success team is plugged in. Any health checks, we get updates on the account. Even the sales team, there's a deal pending. So everything is connected now. And I think the biggest benefit that we saw was in the metrics. So our backlog was about 14,000 tickets about 2 years ago. And now we're down to less than 2,000.
Wow.
And the customer sat numbers, I think, were the biggest. It went up 15% and put us in the high 90s right now. So I cannot complain about that.
That is absolutely amazing.
Yes, it's been fun.
So what's next for you, and what's next for MicroStrategy?
Surprisingly enough, a lot of that Lightning stuff we want to do. We want to be able to get proactive. We're trying to get support to go from reactive to more proactive. We want to be able to provide that kind of surface community articles so that the best kind of ticket is the one that never gets logged, right? So we're trying to provide that information so they can find the answers before they even have to log the ticket. And the one other thing that we're doing that I'm really excited about is we're trying to get to surface to our engineers what are the community articles that this person looked at before they logged the ticket. That's going to be a huge change for us, because we typically would ask them, would you try this? Have you tried A, B, and C? Now we know that they've looked at these articles, so they very likely tried that. So that's going to reduce the time to close a case for me pretty significantly. So I'm very excited about that.
We're excited for you. Divya, thank you so much for being with us here today.
Good to be here. Bye.
Everyone, let's give her a round of applause.
Thank you.
All right, Allison, bring us home with the last service transformation.
Got it. All right. What I love about Divya's story is truly how they've been able to elevate the role of service, which is perfect for our next section. As we think about service organizations, you're no longer siloed to just service in your call centers. It's about how you're able to deliver value to your customer on site with them on their terms. And we deliver that through field service. Now, I love Field Service Lightning. I work on this product a lot. And what we've seen is amazing growth across multiple industries. So healthcare, life sciences, public sector, manufacturing. It's really gone beyond hard hats. And with Field Service Lightning, you can take complex scheduling and really connect it and make it an amazing on-site customer experience. You're really connecting your phone to the field. But one thing to keep in mind is that service has changed. And Field Service Lightning is really built for the fourth industrial revolution. It has intelligence baked in. And you'll see a demo in a little bit about how artificial intelligence is really in the platform. And IoT and robotics, these are all integrated within Field Service Lightning. And the result is an amazing service experience. So there's a customer that's local here, and they send technicians out to your home to help resurface or refinish your patios. And I know that these long, cold winters, especially from us here in California, and those hot summers, it can really take a toll on your home and on your patio. And it used to be that these technicians would come out to your home, and they would have a clipboard, and they would know your address. And once they arrived, they would do they would try to do problem solving. But now they're actually told in advance all of the jobs that they have, and they can access it on their mobile device. So right away, they're replacing clipboards with a mobile device. They can see exactly where they need to go, and they can actually collaborate live with their call center because all of that is tracked in the app. So when they show up to your door, as a customer, you're getting a technician or you're getting a repair person who knows exactly where you live, they know exactly who you are, and they know what you need. And so as a customer, you're getting an amazing experience right off the bat. Now, if you peel back the layers, some of our customers have totally different use cases, but ultimately they've all are focused on making sure that as the customer, you get the best experience on site. So really extending your service from the call center right to your doorstep to make sure that you have an awesome experience. So now I'm going to welcome back Joseph Chong, and he's going to show you guys the amazing success behind KONE. Yeah.
Thank you, Allison. So excited to share this story. Now, when all of you came into the amphitheater here at the Ronald Reagan Building, you rode on an elevator or an escalator. And KONE is a global leader in the elevator and escalator business, but they're really a global leader in the business of service. Maintaining and monitoring their equipment is critical to their customers, because no one wants to be late for a meeting because of a broken elevator. And intelligently being able to assess the health of all of their equipment in the field is really critical. And they're able to do this with field service Lightning. With Salesforce IoT, they can actually pull in device data and triggers from elevators from any IoT platform, including, say, an IBM Watson. And that's what we're about to see here. The elevator has triggered a work order. And we've got dispatcher Andrew looking at his field service Lightning console, where the job has just shown up. And it's with all the other jobs. Those different colors represent different job statuses here on the Gantt chart. So he sees that an alert has happened. This job has been scheduled to a technician, but the technician has gotten stuck in traffic. There's a big crowd here for the Cherry Blossom Festival, and it's raining. So this is a problem. Now, back in the old days, and customers still tell me they do this, we would have to be moving Post-its on a whiteboard, very manual and error-prone process. But Andrew, luckily, has Einstein that he can put to work. And Einstein understands the capabilities, the availability, and the KONE's key business rules across the entire workforce and can intelligently reschedule that job. Einstein notices that Beth, a technician, has just finished up a job nearby and can reassign that job to Beth. Now, Andrew can also look and have a bird's eye view in the Lightning console map of all of the workers in a particular geographic area like DC, and in a click of a single button, he can put Einstein to work again and schedule that entire workforce. Click, and all of those mobile workers are scheduled. Now, let's take a look at Beth's view. Beth is the mobile worker who's working on the elevator, and she's got the beautiful Field Service Lightning app. In the palm of her hand, she can see all of the jobs that she has scheduled for the entire day, and she can click into the one that just got reassigned to her, the IoT elevator door review. Now she can see where the job is, all of the customer information, the service history of that elevator, and she can even collaborate with her colleagues using Chatter, which is like an internal social network. And because the app is offline first, even if there's no internet connection, like when she's in the basement of a building fixing an elevator, it still works. Now, safety is paramount to all the workers at KONE. And so we're going to put Einstein to work again to check whether the elevator is offline before she starts working on it. And it is, and there's also an article to manually do it, just in case. Now, one of the problems in the elevator repair industry is that a lot of those parts can look really, really similar. And that's like when I reach into my drawer, pull out 10 dusty keys. I can't tell one from the other which one opens up my padlock, but luckily for Beth, she's got the power of Einstein Vision Image Recognition. It can instantly use her camera on her phone to identify the part with optical image recognition and automatically pull the catalog code for that exact part. So now she knows she's got the right part on hand, and she can make the repair. She's also served up with a knowledge article that takes her step by step by step through this complicated process that has a lot of dependencies, so she can get that job done right the first time. Now she's done the job, and then she can go back into the app, into her parts inventory, and update the fact that she's just used the part. The job is done, and now it's time to pull the service order up, and the customer can sign for it right in the mobile app. And this is like when you're at the coffee shop, signing that credit card receipt on the Square payment app. It's literally that simple, and presto, it's done. This is how trailblazing companies like KONE can really elevate the productivity of all of their mobile workers, and this can all be done on the Salesforce platform. Thank you, and thank you to our wonderful demo driver, Andrew.
All right. So we covered some exciting new features, really focused on how you can use current technology to connect to your customers. Salesforce, we're delivering key innovations to you guys 3 times a year. That's a lot of information and a lot of new features. And you're Trailblazers, you have a thirst for knowledge, you want to know more, and that's a lot of stuff to learn about, and you can do that through Trailhead. So what I love about Trailhead is that you can actually get hands-on. So if you loved Joseph's demo with KONE, you can actually log in on Field Service Lightning and build your own field service organization. You can actually see behind the scenes how to use the product. And if you're a company, let's say you want to help teach your agents new soft skills, or you really want to teach them about these new technologies and how it can help them in their business, you can actually use my Trailhead and push out your own trainings that are customized to your own brand. Now, everything that you saw today is delivered through Service Cloud, the world's #1 service platform, where our customers and you guys are really at the center. We would love to continue talking to you about everything that we shared today. Joseph, Andrew, Porby, myself, we're going to be in the campground. We'd love for you guys to get started on Trailhead. There's some really fun modules there that you guys can experience. And there's a session on Field Service Lightning a little bit later today at 3:30. So I hope to see you there. And then if you guys want one of these fabulous collectible pins, you can fill out a short survey. There's an awesome guy named Brian who's working there. He'll let you pick it out. We'd love your feedback. So I hope you guys have a great rest of the world tour, and thank you so much for joining us today.